I hate that we even got to ask it, but is Kevin O'Connell the guy for the Vikings? All right, welcome back to the Onebar Lupagus show. I'm Onebar with Lupagus, and we gotta start talking about it. I mean, earlier in the year, we're like Kevin O'Connell, he should be up for Coach of the Year, and now we honestly got to look at it and say, is he even the right guy? Is he the guy?
It's been a crazy season. We've gone, from being a playoff, almost a favorite to not going to make it. Coach, you mentioned it, coach of the year to now is he even going to be on this team anymore? We're going to talk about it. We're going to figure that out. Before we do, if you want to be the guy and smell fresh and clean, get yourself some Happy Nuts. That promo code is still good. 15 Onebar. Also drop hashtag Happy Nuts in the comments for your chance for a beautiful giveaway, which we'll probably be giving away later this week.
Damn right we will. We will. Kevin O'Connell, let's talk about it. We're going to start with the good, the bad, and then maybe throw out a few scenarios.
Yeah, so the good. What is he good at? Well, I mean, to me, creating a culture, a positive culture. Like people want to come here and play for the Minnesota Vikings. Great facilities. He loves his players. You can see that. I mean, even to his detriment, because sometimes he sticks with players or maybe brings back players he probably shouldn't, because he forms relationships with them. And I think he is, a player's coach to that extent where people want to play for him.
Yeah, I mean, he came into a very toxic culture that Mike Zimmer at the end of it. I mean, we heard all the stories. We don't need to go over them. He turned that around. I mean, and you can say, oh, who gives a shit about culture, blah, blah, blah. It's a pretty big deal. We needed it, and he did it. I mean, look at last year. The games we would have never won with Zimmer. Nobody would have believed. Everybody would have been out. 13-4 was a little bit of a fluke, maybe, but we were an 11-team win last year, no doubt about it. So a lot of that has to do with him turning all that around. As far as other things he's good at, I don't really have anything.
He's a good dresser, I guess.
He's a good dresser. The media loves him. I mean, he says all the right things, which also is usually, I mean, for me, it's not a good thing. Everybody seems to love him, and that's pretty much it. When it comes down to the actual coaching side of things, and we're going to talk about the things he's not good at and what concerns us, he really hasn't shown much of anything. I mean, a lot of the wins that we've gotten are because of Kirk Cousins, what he did last year. I mean, a lot of it comes down to Kirk Cousins. A lot of it comes down to the defense turning around this year. So as far as his coaching and what he's done, there's not anything that really sticks out.
It's hard to find a positive right now, especially doing this video after a horrifying loss like last night.
Yeah, I mean, let's just get into the bad. The bad is I mean, it's easy. It's low hanging fruit. Like he doesn't he's not aggressive. His coaching decisions. I mean, you can name anything, and they're all questionable.
Well, how about his play calling? Like he is the offensive coordinator right now, and it doesn't make sense. If the run's working, he doesn't stick with it. He doesn't try to keep it going. If it's not, he bails on it quickly, throws the ball. He loves throwing the ball. Some of his decisions, third and short, throwing it deep, or some weird ass formations where you're putting TJ Hawkinson under center. The Ty Chandler, we saw that thing last night again. Like when he gets cute, it's head scratching. When he doesn't, and you mentioned the lack of aggressiveness, even just going for it. As far as like a game perspective, managing it, like, hey, we're third and inches here, or fourth and inches. We're up by 10 points, but we're gonna punt the ball. I mean, what the hell is that? Get some balls. So those are some things. I mean, I'm gonna keep rattling this. You got some more?
No, I got. So I mean, what about the fact that to develop a quarterback? I mean, he's looked at as a guy who can develop young offensive players. We got Justin Jefferson. He didn't do anything with Justin Jefferson. Jordan Addison, good pick, but like the quarterback debacle this year is solely on him in my mind. I mean, as far as rolling with Nick Mullins as his backup, Jaron Hall, the 5th-round pick that we took, like he should have had somebody in place as a backup quarterback that could lead this team.
Well, and then even that, but like, if he's supposed to be this quarterback guru, like he's forcing these guys to not be who they are. Look what he did with Josh Dobbs. We were praising Kevin O'Connell when Dobbs came in because he made it simple, street ball, talking to him every single play, use your legs if you have to. And also he takes that away from him, and you see him become a pocket passer, which is not Josh Dobbs. We lose 3 games in a row, whatever the hell it is. You kind of saw that again last night with Jaron Hall. Like, let the kid run, move him around, play to his strengths. And I feel like he wasn't doing that. And as a good coach, and that's why I think Flores has had such success with this defense, he is letting these players play to their strengths. And KLC with these quarterbacks is not doing that.
No, Jaron Hall, I mean, it's easy. I mean, he was on our losers list, and he should have been. but like
Horrible.
he played like a 5th round rookie quarterback. I mean, expectations, were that he's going to come out and do something great and we're going to win, but he looked like a 5th round quarterback. And you know what? Kevin O'Connell's getting a lot of comment wise, getting a lot of hate as far as taking Jaron Hall out. They should have just rolled with him. You didn't give him much of a chance, blah, blah, blah. I actually think that was the right choice. So I'm going to give him a little love on that one.
I maybe would have pulled him even earlier. I mean, he just looked lost. He looked like a deer in headlights. And yeah, I mean, he had to. And he looked like a fool doing it, making these moves, flipping back and forth, snip, snap, Michael Scott style. But I don't know. Like, I just don't know how he saw him in practice and said, this is a guy who gives us the best chance to win.
Well, we don't know what he saw. Maybe he had a great week of practice. Whatever it is, maybe Nick Mullins just looked horrible. We don't know. But like to me right now, the biggest concern is that he's this offensive guru and he isn't showing it. He's not doing it. We're scoring 3 points against the Raiders. I mean, look at these box scores. When we're up, we're losing games that we shouldn't have lost. The Bengals, we should actually beat the line. I mean, there's a lot of teams that we should have beat. And it's weird. And if they go to the route where we just got to bring in an offense coordinator, I think that kills the whole point of him even being here. So I hate everything about that. Right now, everybody's down on KOC. They should be. And it's the worst.
It's the worst. But there's one thing that I think muddles the whole situation and makes it a little bit murky, and that's the injuries. You look at what he's had to go through. You're down to your 4th quarterback. These guys are ineffective. They're not good quarterbacks. You've lost Justin Jefferson for a stretch of time. No TJ Hawkinson now lately. So there's been a bunch of obstacles, and I think that's really going to be his saving grace and why his seat maybe isn't going to be as hot as it should be, because look at all these injuries and the shit this team has gone through on both sides of the ball as far as losing players. So that might be his saving grace.
Yeah, it might be. I'm not giving him a pass whatsoever. We were seeing other teams. Browns went through 4 quarterbacks. Look at Gardner Minshew. I mean, there's a lot of teams out there that lost a quarterback that were in a better situation than we were, and everybody's got injuries. And the weirdest part is, like, why can't he win with Justin Jefferson? I mean, we were winning without him, and he comes in and we're like a worse offensively. Like, shame on him.
Yeah, I don't get it. Is it, they sure as hell weren't forcing the ball, at least in the first half yesterday, so you can't even say it's that excuse. I don't know. I don't understand it. And you look at last year, I mean, is he just a better coach when they're playing from behind, when they have a defense who can't, stop anybody and you have to get in these track meets? I don't know.
Well, let's comments too. Let's hear your thoughts. If you're and we're not even getting into the Kwesi argument right now. That's a whole different video. This is strictly just the head coach. If you're Mr. Wilf and you had the chance, would you fire Kevin O'Connell? Would you bring him back next year?
I would. I think he gets one more year to try to prove himself, fix himself. 13-3 the first year. This year's kind of gone off the rails. I already mentioned the injuries. A lot of turnovers with those quarterbacks you're bringing in. So I think he has to have one more year. I don't think you pull the plug right now, especially the way this season has gone.
Yeah, I would actually fire him. I wouldn't even bring him back. I mean, then the big reason is like we're going to have an early draft pick. We're going to have a ton of money to spend. And we're going to put this all, Kevin O'Connell's going to be a big part of that. And he might even only be here for another year. So what, after that year, all of a sudden a new guy comes in, wants his own guys like that. Like that's the biggest factor in this early draft pick, a lot of money to spend. And he's going into a year where he's kind of a lame duck.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we're obviously more hard on him right now than maybe the front office is. I still think you got to give him 3 years at least. I don't like these teams that fire coaches so damn quick.
I think he will be back.
Yeah, I just think it's such a bad precedent.
I would just have him start over.
I don't know. You look at last year, how good that thing went, and then this year just been a complete mystery. So I need to see a third season. I really do.
Yeah, and I do. I mean, he's going to be back. I saw somebody put out there that this was like the Wilfs go into the locker room, win or lose every time, and they were not in there yesterday. That's true. That's saying something.
I mean, 2-6 at home. That's another thing. Like, how do you have a 2-6 record at home? I don't get it.
Bad team. It's a bad team. We were overachieving through times that we should have been losing, and I think it gave us a lot of hope. Like we were overachieving with guys that we should not be winning with, and we just for some reason were. And I guess we got to give KOC a little bit of love there too. But there's so many things that are bad opposed to good with this team right now, and it comes back to him.
Yeah, for sure. But like you said, I mean, I think he's going to be back. It's just, does he deserve it or not? I think he should at least have one more season to prove himself.
There you have it. KOC, is he the guy? Let us know in the comments. Do you want him back? Is he the guy? Should we give him a longer leash? Let us know.
Let us know. Remember this, in Australia, there are spiders that are so big they can even eat snakes.